I have a small little video that we could have a quick look at for a minute or so, that I thought might just kind of be relevant in contrast to old Nintendo, if
Mm,
you like, just to kind of ease us in, since talking about
please.
Nintendo DS is just my favorite
Ugh.
thing in the bloody world.
Yeah, just
Um,
never ends. But hey, gotta
so
spotlight it.
I
Keep it in the
thought,
public eye.
why not, when I see where I am, have a
Mm.
quick look at this video that I watched like 4 years ago. So it is 4 years ago, so I will give credit that things might have changed ever so slightly. Let's just watch like a minute or so.
French students can expect up to a 4-course meal at lunch. They begin with a salad, a fresh veg, followed by quality protein like salmon with a side of roasted broccoli. They wouldn't be French without a course of soft cheeses, jam, and fresh bread. And kids finish with a sweet confection like marzipan before heading back to class.
Hmm.
And kids aren't served healthy meals, they serve them. To teach healthy cooking, kids take turns helping to cook, serve, and clean up for their peers. Meals are heavy on
Cooking and cleaning and serving food for your peers. That's some woke skills right there, guys.
Oh yeah, they're so
Crazy
independent by the
work.
time they get to 5 years old. It's great. Love to see it.
rice, vegetables, and fish. Students in Nigeria are fed well-balanced meals each day. Meals could include smoky, tomatoey jollof rice with chicken and steamed veg. Finland was the first country in the
That's
world
what
to
I
provide
ate.
free lunch to every student, and the law ensures high nutrition standards. Veggies like beetroot salad and roasted turnips take up at least half the plate. Starches and grains such as a crepe cup with
And so we might notice that she said that they were the first ones to implement the school lunches, and they have very strict guidelines on what is considered a nutritious lunch. And especially that percentage about vegetables. From everything I've seen of the so-called lunches that our kids are getting, it's not even close to meeting even these requirements for nutrition at all.
slightly tart lingonberry jam take up 1/4, and a protein such as haricot, a split pea soup topped with smoked ham, takes up the other. Crisp bread is served on the side. In South Korea, students eat off steel trays sectioned out for perfect portion sizes. The bigger section is for rice, the circle holds soup, and the smaller portions are for tangy, spicy kimchi, some veggies, and meat like marinated strips of pork shoulder called jeukbokgung. With a large Orthodox population in Ethiopia, meals are largely plant-based. An array of foods like spicy lentils, zucchini, and yellow split pea soup called kik alicha are eaten with injera, a fermented flatbread.
And I mean, I'll be honest, that looks way better than what our kids have been getting. And this isn't a place like Nigeria that I'm sure a lot of the people who vote for National Act would have you believe is like some third world country that couldn't ever afford to feed their fucking kids. Like, it's
I'll be
just
honest.
crazy.
I agree to disagree. If that looked great,
I
but
think that looks delicious, but I've tried a lot of vegan food recently that was really fucking
mm,
good. It looks ugly as shit, but it tastes amazing. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
don't
yeah,
knock it till you try it. It looks
okay.
kind of freaky, but
I'm a
and this
visual
is
eater, but it's good.
that's fair. This is Hawaii, where they had a farm to school program.
Kids in Hawaii can expect meals made from scratch with local, fresh ingredients, such as a chicken stir fry with veggies and fresh baked bread on the side. Ukrainian kids get their
And so that was literally the same thing that we basically had. We had local communities, local food, making lunches for the kids. And yeah, I mean, it's a long video, so we don't need to go through all of it, but those are just a
Can
few.
I appreciate the video. Don't get me wrong. I really appreciate the video. I think we can all agree it's a little bit of like this is the ideal, and it's probably more of like in different cultures these are the things they eat. The comments on this video are quite as you can imagine a little bit critical.
Oh yeah, I'm sure some of them aren't exactly thing, but at least there is a like even then though, if that's what it looks like on the box, like well, we had the fancy looking meals, you know, the fancy nice looking
Mm.
square containers. Even if that was a little bit worse, I think it's still better.
Yeah, I
And
mean
we
it's
know
pretty
that
much
Japan would be quite accurate because we know that Japan feed their kids very well.
well. I mean, take all of these with a grain of salt, but there is someone that's like, I'm Japanese. I never saw such a meal. The curry and rice, absolutely. That's probably
Yeah.
more so pretty. But I bet it tastes 100 times better than the curry that we've had.
Oh yeah, the butter chicken for 11 days in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, one
Love
comment.
butter
This is the most unrealistic display of school lunches I've ever seen. It's the standard that we should be meeting. I think that's probably more so what it is. It's the standard that we should be meeting. At the very, very least, it's the standard we should be meeting.
Apparently, if you want the best hospital food, go to Japan.
There
Good
you
to
go.
know.
Or private hospitals, I mean. Private hospitals are
Nah.
pretty good.
Fuck private hospitals.
Yeah. Well, that's not what they're getting.
Nope.
Unfortunately, this is. I'm pretty damn sure. Just looking at the related stories on this, it is day after day after day of the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
On the 27th, David Seymour responds to school lunch program controversy. On the 27th, how many days in a row can you eat this? Schools/lunch orders. That's concerning. It's worth having a look at.
Yep.
On the 26th, school lunch providers boss says it's mission critical to meet KPIs. For fuck me, that's in itself is a fucking headline. 11 days of butter chicken, more problems with school lunches.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps going on. And if we go back,
Don't
the
stop
25th, the 23rd, who says school lunches are good. A nutritionist bagged it. They were just like, this is not okay. On the 16th of February, a couple of weeks ago, Seymour hasn't done his homework. He just relies on laziness. In regards to not providing providing halal-friendly meals, not halal-certified meals.
Right.
Yeah, it's shit after shit after shit. And essentially his response has been, after principals have called him out and said, this is not good enough, this is disgusting, Seymour has gone, look, they're school lunches and they're free and we're feeding your kids. I think you need to shut up and put up. And it's like we're not providing
disgusting.
gourmet meals. That is his current response to things.
I'd like to see him fucking do his job eating those fucking meals every day. Maybe we should take away their food budget until they do something about it. And it's just fucked because that's the thing is like these are going to have flow-on effects. There've been so much waste. And kids aren't able to learn when they're hungry. Like this is just going to have compounding effects for God knows how long they keep this fucking thing in. And they still somehow pretend like they're good with money as well, which just baffles me.
Some schools have had food produced by Pita.
Yep. I heard about the pizza.
Bread rolls. Yeah, and the pizza. We've had bread rolls with sloppy coleslaw inside, this tiny vegetarian patty, or one tiny piece of meat inside, and then there's the next day. It's the same filling, but it's a different carbohydrate. So it's it might be wrapped the next day with that same stuff, and the next day it might be pita pocket with the same stuff in it. How many days in a row can you eat this? Yesterday it was 2 bits of thick white bread with the same sloppy mixture inside. And we ring and we complain, but nobody ever gets back to us. As a society, we need to ask ourselves, is it acceptable to be producing poor quality food? Many countries in the world provide lunches for their students, but in New Zealand, there seems to be condemnation that some people don't have enough money to provide lunches. But it's routine in the UK and in Scandinavian countries for students to get school lunches. Our kids need them. It was from Leanne Webb.
Yeah. Also, there's typical comments going, "Oh, it's free food, and you're going to complain about it." Mm-hmm. We're not complaining about. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even care. Like, I'm sure the kids wouldn't mind if they did have multiple repeated meals, if they were actually good and nutritious for them. It's about the quality of the food. It's about what we had and what we've got now, because they decided that landlords deserve $2.9 billion fucking dollars, and kids' school lunches was apparently too much to handle and too expensive. So, like, respectfully, no. Or disrespectfully, whichever way.
And here's Seymour's fucking statement. In a statement, Associate Education Minister Nintendo DS, who is behind the revamp, said the policy wasn't about a gourmet taxpayer-funded meal. And that's not what we're fucking asking for, you dickhead. No. It's a simple nutritionist lunch. Nutritious? Nutritious? Let's see what the nutrition recently got her hands on a meal and was very, very not convinced. To ensure hungry kids are fed, and that's what's being delivered, so he says. He said one of the benefits of the new model was that schools could manage meal numbers and dietary requirements themselves. They still need to be provided the food to do that, though, Seymour. The priority for the school lunch program must be delivering lunches to students in need at a cost affordable to the taxpayer. It's encouraging that schools are using the new portal to update details to reduce waste. So he is already getting what his fucking plan is, which is that schools don't want to order this shit because it all goes to waste, and now they're getting less and less of it, which means kids are going fucking hungry, and then the program will get continually defunded until the point where it doesn't exist because what they're providing is dog shit. Literal fucking dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally designed to fail. Like,
it's designed to fail.
It's just so fucking frustrating because they always do this. They like to spin it to make it out like, oh, you lefties, you're just being ungrateful. It's like, no, I just think that kids should be fed before we give tax breaks to fucking landlords. Not to mention the fact that we have a government that is considering giving extra corporate tax cuts in this year's budget.
Meanwhile, they can't afford, they have big fucking holes that they continue
fiscal holes coming out. They're fucking, like, there's so many fiscal holes it could be a hentai. For real. You can quote me on that.
It's some alien to go with it.
I won't make you draw that, but I'm sure if the fans really wanted to draw that, they can do it, and that's on them. But I'm just sick of this shit.
And probably one of my least favorite quotes from Nintendo DS: "A field roll is what most parents send their children to school with, and there's nothing wrong with that." I agree. There is nothing wrong with that. Some principals are doing students a disservice by teaching them that they should never be grateful for anything and complain about everything. Never be grateful for anything and complain about everything. It's a simple, nutritious lunch to ensure hungry kids are fed, and that's what's being delivered, so he says. The ministry said the numbers of lunches sent to school was previously based on the attendance patterns, but this year schools were using an online portal to order 2 weeks ahead based on attendance and dietary requirements for students each day. This allows for the number and type of meals delivered to be adjusted based on planning activities such as school trips, teachers, and only dates. I don't disagree that that's actually quite a good system, but are they actually getting the meals they ordered and on time? Sounds like that. Under all iterations of the school lunch program, managing waste has been a key focus, it said. We would expect schools to adjust their information in the portal throughout the school year based on role. Outside of menu meals provided to by Pit were not a long-term solution, the ministry said. Pit have stepped in to make sure students are getting a lunch every school day. Great. Capitalism at its finest. We're making the private market fucking feed our kids.
That's why they're trying to make them look like
the
good
local
guys.
Market was fucking doing it at probably a fucking cheaper, not profit out the fucking wazoo, at a cheaper cost that was employing local people and using local produce while also using any profits they were making to feed other schools that couldn't fucking afford it. This is absolute bullshit. And now we have Bit, a fucking franchise, providing school lunches.
Well, yeah, because when we had it local also, that means that money was staying in the community. That money was staying in our economy. It wasn't just getting shipped off to some fucking conglomerate. And, like, I mean, I think this is a good point from here, from TPNA. It's like, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Defund to the point of uselessness, point out how bad it is, privatize it, nepo jobs, and your corporate mates, and it's just the neoliberal 101. Because we have to keep saying it time and time again. They're trying to make the problem in the wrong area.